episode of On the Spot News. I'm your puppet host, Spot, and here are the weekly top stories for the week of July 19th. Our first story is talking about the coronavirus. Now, we all know that the virus has hindered our ability to hang out in social gatherings, specifically for larger crowds like concerts and restaurants and family reunions, graduation parties, and that can really take a toll on our social lives and our personal connections with one another. But even so, there are still a few things that we can do to help stay connected with each other and still have fun. Let's see, a good example is the usage of the Zoom calls. For those of you who do not know, Zoom is like a online video chatting service where you can connect with others through your phone or computer over long distances, and you can get together for things like book clubs and theater rehearsals if you do the online theater, special concerts and musical performances, or even like something as simple as a game night. These activities can be accomplished through the use of Zoom, because even though you can't physically touch one another and shake hands and hug, you can still see everybody's faces, share some nice laughs, and just have a great time. Now, if this doesn't seem right up your alley, there are a few other activities that you can do as well. One prime example is, especially during the summer time, is spend some time outside, like something as simple as going on a walk around the neighborhood, or even going to the park, as long as you practice social distancing, of course. Let's see, some other activities. You can start a series of books. There's never been a better time for reading. You can find some new movies or TV shows to watch on Netflix or Disney Plus or Hulu. There's so many different streaming services. And also got HBO. Well, Max is a new one, and they have many popular movies and TV shows. So there's still lots of activities that can happen even with the coronavirus going on. Let's see. Our next story is a very amusing but also special story from our partners at CBS News. This is a story of a man who takes his love of puppeteering to a whole new level at his apartment in New York City. CBS News' Adriana Diaz has more on this story. Adriana?
On a leafy street in Chicago,
Ladies and gentlemen,
a voice breaks the silence of social isolation.
boys and girls.
It's coming from the lockdown puppet theater on Matthew Owen's balcony.
Why do actors say break a leg? Because they're all in a cast.
His day job, now this is true, was crafting nature-inspired toys for zoo animals. But in the shutdown, he was laid off, and with an excess of creative energy, he dusted off an old hobby.
Most of these take about a day to make.
One puppet turned into 40.
How do you do the face?
I sculpt it in clay, and then I make a plaster mold, and then I pour liquid rubber in there and then paint it up once it's cured.
His wife, Carla, a librarian, is also out of work.
I think, he was extremely sad about losing his job at the zoo. Then it was like, oh, well, I'm going to put on a show. I'm like, great.
He keeps his address secret to avoid crowds, but they still come.
It's nice that people have a place to go. Everybody comes.
We get to occasionally distract people from just how heavy the world can be at the moment.
Has this taught us how much we need those distractions, those moments of joy?
It's very simple stuff. You don't have to ask too much of people to be thrilled.
There's a yodeling toad and Shakespeare.
What is in that word? Honor. I've been taking care of animals for a dozen years. I'm still doing that. It's just the animal happens to be Homo sapien.
Adriana Diaz, CBS News.
Now go out and be happy.
Chicago.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Adriana. A very touching story and personal favorite because I'm all about the puppets. Well, not that I am a puppet, but forget I ever said that. And finally, here is a look at the weekly weather forecast for this week. Courtesy of our friends from WSAW News Channel 7 in Wausau, Wisconsin. For today, it will be mostly sunny with a high of 81, a little warm. However, there is a nice breeze flowing through the area, which helps to keep things cooler. For the next 4 days, should be in the middle to upper 70s, and there is a 60% chance of rain on Tuesday with scattered thunderstorms. So if you are going out, I would advise you bring an umbrella with you, just to be on the safe side. And then for Saturday and Sunday, temperature will rise up into the lower to middle 80s with a small chance of rain. There is a 50% chance of rain for, I think that's for Friday, but otherwise it should be mostly sunny and very warm. A very nice week of summer indeed. And those are all the weekly stories that we have for you this week. Be sure to tune in next week for another exciting episode. For now, I'm Spot for Unspot News, saying have a great day, be safe, be healthy, and always be on the spot.